Five.
Okay.
All right. So I'm here today with Kathleen Smith. She's one of my business partners and fellow honey badger. A little more about honey badgers
This
and Honey
is
Nation.
Honey Badger Nation,
where real estate agents from around the globe come together
to grow, collaborate,
and expand their business.
Where we take our individual fires and put them together and make one big fire.
This is the Honey Badger Nation.
All right, now we're back live with Kathleen. How you doing today, Kathleen?
I'm doing great, Ed. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. As you know, I am doing excellent.
We're getting ready for the next winter blast to come through. It's a dreary day in South Jersey, so I'm happy that Ed had me on to get me perked up for this weekend. Way to start the weekend, Ed. Thank you.
Yep, not a problem. Anytime. So, I know your story, but the audience probably doesn't know your story. So we're going to go back to the beginning, and we're going to say, to Kathleen, let's tell us about your story. How'd you get into real estate? And like I said, I know.
Okay, well, my story, I'll try to keep it short. Ed knows I'm a little long-winded, so I will try to get it short and sweet. So my story starts way back, right out of high school. I was going to college, got accepted into Drexel, where I was going to go. And right before graduation, I told my parents, I don't think I want to go. So they were not happy. My dad's words were, you're not going to sit around and just be a bum. So I said, fine, I'm going to go to hairdressing school. So I went to school right out of high school, and I became a hairstylist. And so I guess you could say I grew up in beauty salons because I was 18 years old, right out of high school. Went through college prep, my whole college career in Catholic school. So again, not the best thing my parents wanted to hear, but I just didn't know what I wanted to do. So I just decided go for it. And so it was good. It was great. I loved it. I've owned and operated 2 salons in all the years since then, and grew up. I mean, customer service, you learn it in a beauty salon, relationships, you learn it, employees, you learn it. So I've been through it all for the past, 30, almost 40 years. I'm aging myself. But in between that time, I was diagnosed with a spinal disease and a brain malformation. So all during that time, I was dealing with, I would call it debilitating pain, like headaches, vomiting between clients, you name it, I did it. But I never told anyone. I just tried to keep it to myself. So I'm not used to talking about this. So you're right. You know this, Ed, but probably even friends that might see this are not going to know this because I never want people to think that I'm weak. I'm not doing a good job. So I don't talk about it. But anyway, so I ended up having a brain surgery. I've had 3 spinal surgeries. This year alone, I've had 3 surgeries, and I just had a hospital stay in November for a week. But I stuck it out, and eventually, just physically couldn't do it anymore. So at that point, I decided I'm just going to stay home, be a stay-at-home mom. My kids were, grammar school. So I never missed I was a room mom, a team mom. Ed, you remember this because you remember, our kids went to school together, which for anyone who doesn't know, Ed and I are friends for a long time. But anyway, I was like the book fair lady, the team mom, the room mom, you name it. I didn't miss a day of my kids' activities. So then after I stopped working, I stayed home for all those years. My kids were in high school. So fast forward to 2014, I'm kind of bored. My kids are in high school. There's no more room moms needed. So I'm home thinking, what can I do? I need to do something. So, and I also had, 2 college tuitions I knew were looming. So I thought, what am I going to do? So I said, let me go talk to Ed. We were working together in our community organization. I knew what you were doing. You were managing a brokerage. So I remember the day I went in to talk to you about it. And I came out, and Ed had me signed up for real estate school. And I was like, what the hell? I don't even know if this is what I want to do. But I came home. I told my family. They were all excited. So I did it, passed my test. And here I am, now it's 2022, 8 years later. And I thank Ed for giving me a little push because I remember the conversation with Ed saying, even if I make an extra $10,000 for the family, I'd be happy. And he said, $10,000, I'd fire you. Well, and so that first year I ended up doing way better than what I never expected to be able to make that kind of money just doing real estate. It was just a fluke that Ed got me in, but I'm thankful. So thank you, Ed, for getting me here. And so that's my story. That's how I got in.
Yeah, that's great. And because I know where it went from there. So in the first, so that's how you got into the business. And then I have to thank you because in 2019, somebody introduced you to a new business model. Mm-hmm. So tell me how that went, because you were just telling me yesterday. I didn't realize it was like in the spring because you didn't talk to me about it till July.
Yeah. So I remember. So again, Ed and I go back a long way. We shared an office at Weichert. So him and I would go in because all the brokers call you. We all know they all call you. They're all recruiting. And I would go to lunch with each one just so that they would stop calling me. And every time I would go back in the office, I would tell Ed, they have this and they have this. And every time, Ed would say, oh, well, we have it better here. We have it better here. So Ed was set, he's been there years. So one day I was going in a car with a bunch of agents to the Circle of Excellence Awards. And they were talking about, one of the agents was talking about, she had met with somebody from EXP. And I said, well, what's EXP? I don't even know. I've never heard of it. And so the other agents were, filling me in about EXP. And so again, I meet with every broker. I'm easy, just stop bothering me. So I'll meet with you. And so I went after the Circle of Excellence Awards. I actually saw the agent there that we were going to meet with. And we went, and I remember telling Ed, you should come with us. You should come. And he's like, no, I'm too branded. I'm too old. And I was like, fine, I'm going to go. And meanwhile, I had spoken to my husband because, he's a team member, but Ed's been my mentor. Ed was my manager. He's like my Bible of real estate, I call him. He's my go-to guy for the rules. Before I make a mistake, I call Ed. So I don't make a mistake. I don't make mistakes. I'm just saying if I were to make a mistake, it would be avoided because I could call Ed.
You don't make mistakes because you asked the right question.
I don't want to get in trouble. So anyway, I literally went and met with them, and I came back in the office and I said to Ed, oh my God, you are perfect. You need to go talk to him at EXP. And you were like, no. So finally, you left the office. You promised that you were going to go meet with them. And you came back in a couple of days later. And I thought, oh, no, he doesn't like it. Because your words were like, I can't think of a reason not to go. That's what you said. I can't.
That's exactly what I said.
And so I told my husband when I went home, I said, we're leaving. We're going to EXP. Because you were going. I'm like, we're going. If after 36 years or however long it was, if you thought enough to go, we're going to.
It was only 29, but still.
Whatever.
29 years at the same
my husband's 36 years with his company. So,
yeah,
real estate is his side hustle with me. So, yeah. But anyway, so we went and I've never looked back. It was the best thing I could have done. And I wish I did it sooner, but I'm happy to be a honey badger. I'm happy to, share my story, and it's all good.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's been a great life changer for me.
Right. And I'm having a blast building an organization that, is my own asset. And, I always thank Kathleen for that because she's the one who introduced me to EXP, even though she's in my organization because I left first. Mm-hmm. It's just been phenomenal. So what one problem could you say that maybe you had or didn't know you had that EXP was able to solve by coming over to this model?
Well, I think that, I can think of a couple problems, but one of the main, and I'm sure that a lot of agents feel the same way, the inability or difficulty in capping at my previous brokerage.
Yeah.
I never capped. I was there for 6.5 years. I never capped. And as far as I could see, I don't think I ever would cap because they needed to get so much more money back from me that when I went to EXP and it was 80% no matter what, no fees, it was to me, it was a no-brainer, but I felt like it was too good to be true. But then you did all the research and you were coming in every day saying, I thought it was too good to be true too, but it's not. And so here I am 2.5 years later when I know some of my friends and EXP agents from all over have said the same thing. Their friends or their fellow agents that they left said, oh, they'll be back. It's too good to be true, but I'm not going back and it's not too good to be true. So it's been great.
It's not.
I think another problem that I had was like, I think I had a problem with support, like just in office support. The managers were great. I loved all the people. I loved all the relationships, but like the support was definitely not the support that we have at EXP. We could get an answer 24/7. If you're up at 3 a.m. and nobody else is up, you can get an answer from some agent. They might be not in New Jersey, but the answer that I have, they could give me. We have great support. And I just think between the support and the ability to get paid quickly when we have a transaction, and for me, I mean, I capped. I just didn't think I'd ever cap, and it's like, wow, it's easy to cap.
And when you capped, you also got a stock award.
Right. So I mean, to me, that's my main problem. Like I wanted to cap. Of course, who doesn't want to be at 100%? That's a problem, right? So they solved that problem. So that's my number one.
Well, that's a good problem to be able to solve.
Right.
And it does all work at EXP. And so not only the support you mentioned, that's the support of Honey Badger Nation. What you're talking about, you can put a message in Facebook, Honey Badger Nation private Facebook group, and somebody will respond, or 5 or 10 people will respond.
Yep.
And I see questions in there all the time. Hey, I'm thinking about signing up for this lead generation system. Does anybody use this? Is it worth it, or is it a ripoff? And you'll get feedback, and it makes it easier to make your decision when you're going to invest in your own business. Which you're in your own business like you were at the salon,
right?
And now you have your husband working with you as a side hustle. And hopefully your son is going to get licensed. He's been putting it off.
Yeah, he's next.
Nolan's got to get his license, man. He's a college student, but he's ready to build an empire of his own.
Yep.
So I can't wait to get him involved too. And the way that this system works is you also you have something to leave down to your kids.
Mm-hmm.
When you build your business. So you had some challenges. You had a lot more challenges than I knew of. I didn't know all those surgeries that you had. I knew some of them, but so you made it. You capped last year, and you owned and operated a salon for 8 months at the same time.
No, yeah, well, about 18 months, really, 15 to 18.
Well, I mean 8 months of last year. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was a lot. It was a lot, and it was during the pandemic, so it was tough.
Right. So you're running that, and you were able to cap, and then you sold off on that. So now you're focused. So what's in store for you this year? You got more focus.
I think my mindset, it's up to me. I mean, like we talked about advantages or things that you liked. Things that I like about EXP is it's up to me. I don't have a sales meeting anymore, a typical sales meeting where you go in and there's a board on the wall that has everybody's sales on it. And you can see like, oh, so-and-so did this much. Like it's up to me to keep track of it. And it's up to me to motivate myself. And not that we don't meet all the time. We have meetings. We have fun. I mean, it's fun. Our meetings are fun. So for what's in it for me for this year, I think that's burn the boat. I burned the boat.
Burn the boats, baby.
I got a little boat, but I want a bigger boat. So
yeah,
I'm with you. But it's definitely up to me. Like we don't have any boundaries. We don't have limits. We don't have educators that are hired by our brokerage. We have I remember I used to think, well, my God, this person did $12 million. Like I want to be him. We have people that are doing hundreds of millions of dollars, and we get to collaborate with them, and they're happy to help us. I love that. For me, I just did a transaction, a referral with Deanna Dopsloff, who I just saw that she's the #1 team leader. She leads the #1 team in the entire state of New Mexico for EXP.
Oh, wow.
That's a cool collaboration that we did,
Yeah.
And so making friends with people in other states and being able to, meet somebody and they say, hey, well, I'm moving to Albuquerque. Well, before I would have been like, well, that's great. Have a good life, But I went on Honey
Right.
Badger Nation and I found Deanna
Yep.
and now, she's a friend. So it's the sky's the limit, I feel like, because we don't have boundaries. Now we're in other countries and, I've got agents that I sponsored in Florida. So it's just, it's like you are your destiny. You're in charge of your business. So for me this year, I don't have a salon to worry about during the pandemic. And last year, I don't know how it was my best year because I didn't work as much in real estate, but I think, revenue share helps. Might not have sold as many houses, but I did great because the commission's higher and the fees are less and the revenue share is there. So, it's crazy. When I got my 1099, I was like, well, look at this, it's been great. So again, I'm happy. I like sharing I've never shared my story, so this is a first, but
hey, that's what it's all about, is sharing your story and getting it out there. And, I remember vividly too, the day you told me about EXP and I told you, I said, that's not right. It's too good to be true. I'm like, there's no way they can do that, pay all of that and make any money. And then I did my research for about a week. It wasn't like,
yeah, you did a lot of research.
I researched, but I was focused because I before I met with somebody, I'm like, I'm going to do my research. And I went in there, I had my book of questions and I'm like, well, how do you guys do this? And how do you do that? And how's the company making any money then? It's like, okay, so he had an answer for everything. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm in. So since he answered all my questions, it's like, wow. And now I know how it works now. I know they make money and, they keep the operations going, but the other half of the company dollar, so to speak, the 20% gets paid out to agents in revenue share. God, I can't believe the other day I was on with Jay Kinder. He said it was $170 million was paid out in revenue share last year.
That's crazy.
So now we're $1 billion company and we're growing leaps and bounds. It's been so much fun being with you, and it's just like the certain stresses are gone.
Team Double E
growing like wildfire. So if you want to get in touch with me, you can see down below. But get in touch with Kathleen. You can post in the comments, and I'll get you in touch with Kathleen. But Kathleen, what's your contact info?
My contact info is
email.
Yeah, my email is, I'll use the EXP, Kathleen.smith@exprealty.com.
There you go. And you want to give your cell phone number?
Sure. 856-889-8281.
Yep. So if you join Kathleen, if you're interested in finding out more and you talk to Kathleen, you're in Team Double E too. So and guess what? You're also in Honey Badger Nation. And that's powerful.
That is powerful.
I'm telling you, I have met so many successful people through Honey Badger Nation, and you guys are going to be seeing them on my podcast now that I'm back to doing this. Al Stazak was on a couple days ago. Nick Krem, they're all Honey Badgers. They're original Honey Badgers, man.
Yeah.
And Jay Kinder, Michael Reese, these guys are powerhouses, and we have the opportunity to be business owners with them. They're part of we're all part of their organization, and we're having a blast. So,
Yes.
So if you have questions, you want to talk to Kathleen, learn more about her story, give her a buzz, hit her up on Facebook Messenger or whatever it is, and because we'll be tagging her on this video once I post it too. So, all right. Anything you want to add?
No, I don't want to. I think that we've covered it all. I just wanted to just tell my story like we talked about. And,
that's great.
Don't
That's great. And like I said,
embrace the technology. For the people like me, that was my biggest fear was like the technology. But you know what? It's like making yourself proud of yourself.
Yeah.
Being able to do it you have help. You have lots of help. So it's nothing like it. I think that there's misconceptions about EXP as far as like the technology, that you're just a virtual avatar, but we're not. Like, we talk to our processors just like you guys do. It's fun. You'll be proud of yourself, and go outside of your comfort zone. That's what, just do it. Just do it. And
Yeah, and that's what,
yeah.
and the virtual world with the avatar. That's how we communicate. Like, we can literally go into the broker's office and talk to them right face to face, avatar to avatar. But that's because they're all working from home. You can talk to the processor. Yep. And we do have sales meetings actually every week. New Jersey has a sales meeting. Every state has sales meetings, and there's a leadership meeting every Friday morning in EXP World, where the top brass open up the playbook and they tell you what's coming next and what's going on, what countries we're opening in this quarter, which is phenomenal. I think we're in 19 countries so far, 21, something like that. I don't know.
And this quarter is what, Greece and Punta Cana, and what else is this quarter?
I don't have it written down, so I'm not going to say.
Yeah, it's too many. It's like constant growth.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but we obviously we're growing globally and across the nation. So, and we're having fun. We're having fun. I'm proud to have you on my team, and I know you're having fun, and we look forward to working with as many of other agents that want to learn more about it.
Yep, I can't wait to meet the new agents. So,
yep. All right, thanks, Kathleen. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.